This for your group program.
Mm-hmm. Hello. Okay, let me go live on Facebook as well. So that works. Hopefully it works today. Yesterday was acting up. Yep. Go live. Let's go Zoom. Don't fail me now. Okay. Participants. Phil, you're here. I'm promoting you to panelist. Phil, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Oh, I hear ya. Hi, everyone. How are you? We're here today with Phil, my Facebook ads manager, and the most wonderful Facebook ads team on the planet. I've worked with a few, and I can tell you that Phil is the best. Phil, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. I run Go Strategic Marketing with my wife, and we've been doing digital marketing for the last 3 years. I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of great clients and have been able to deliver 5- and 6-figure launches for my clients using webinar funnels. And it's just a privilege to demonstrate some Facebook stuff here with you today, and we'll get started shortly.
Awesome. I know everyone's really, really excited to learn the different bullet points that you had outlined. So I will just take a seat back, enjoy my Starbucks coffee, and let you take over, Phil.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. Excellent. So let me share my screen here. All right, cool. So first thing I wanted to talk about, a lot of people are asking me about boosting posts. And so I wanted to talk about that quickly. The main difference between boosting a post and running your Facebook ads through Ads Manager is that the boosted post, you're really limited on the amount of targeting that you can do, as well as setting up the ad to only reach a certain target market. So if you're really serious about Facebook ads, I recommend going through Ads Manager, which is what I'll show you guys briefly today, how to set up your first ad. And just get the targeting right, because the targeting makes all the difference. If the right people are seeing your ads, they're much more likely to click and engage as well as purchase or fill out an application than the wrong people. And then with finding your target market, what I like to do is start here in Audience Insights. Now, before we get into Audience Insights, let's show you how to jump into Facebook ads. So you're going to go to your home screen, facebook.com, come over here to the right side, and then go down to Manage Ads. Once you click on that, you're going to see your screen that looks a lot like this. If it's your first time creating an ad, you'll have to create your ad account, and to do that, you just go through the prompts that Facebook has. You add your credit card information, your time zone, and then you can go ahead and make a dummy ad. Once you're finished with that ad, you'd want to go and turn it off by sliding this slider here after you see the screen once you've created your Facebook ad account. So every time from then on, you're going to go again to facebook.com, come down here to manage ads, and then you're going to see your ad account, and then it'll have the different campaigns here. So to create your first ad, first let's talk about the audience insights and discuss targeting. So you want to click on everyone on Facebook, and then under interests here, you want to type in either a competitor of yours or a similar company or an influencer or a website or a magazine. And what you'll see here is it'll give you a bunch of options. I wanted to use Gary Vaynerchuk as an example for a social media marketing campaign. The next thing you're going to click on is the page likes. And then you're going to come down here to the relevance. And this is where you're going to find similar pages. Sometimes, like you can see here, it didn't do a great job finding other examples like Gary Vaynerchuk. If that's the case, then you just search for a different person here. Let's try Amy Porterfield. There you go. So there's one there. And then if we come down here to relevance, Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar. Yeah, so this did a lot better of a job coming up with similar pages that you can use for your targeting. So I'll show you in a little bit where to put each one of these interests. So let's get started with the first ad. You're going to head back to Ads Manager. And then up in the top right-hand corner, you're going to select Create Ad. When you get to this screen, you have a couple different options depending on what kind of an ad you're looking to run. I suggest usually the conversions ad. That way it's the easiest to track. Some other types of ads, I have found success for local targeting using lead generation. If you're using a webinar program like EverWebinar or Webinar Jam, you can't use a lead generation ad because there's no way to have the two talk to each other. So you'd have to use conversions all the time. Some other ones, if you're promoting a event response or you're looking for page likes or post engagements, that's under engagement. So for this demonstration, I'm just going to use the conversions. And what we're going to call this is the lead magnet as the campaign name. And then let's go through these various things. So on the left-hand side, you can see that Facebook ads are broken up into 3 different categories, if you will. There's campaign level, there's the ad set level, and then there's the ad level. At the campaign level, it's just for naming to help you keep organized. At the ad set, it's basically telling Facebook where you want the ad to go and who's going to see it, how much you want to spend each day, and then when you want this to be scheduled. At the ad level, this is the actual thing that people see, and it includes the creative, whether it's image or video, as well as your text and any other stuff that you want people to see for each ad. So we're right now at the ad set level, and the first thing it's going to ask for you to do is to select a conversion event. Now what that means is you want to put in your thank you page URL. So if you had since this is for a lead magnet, each lead magnet has a landing page, and then it has a thank you page. The thank you page is where you put your Facebook pixel, and I'll get to that a little bit later. With the thank you page, you're just going to define a new custom conversion, and then you're going to put your thank you page in. You just paste it like that, and then complete registration, next, and then you name it lead magnet conversion. And so what this is going to be doing is allows Facebook to see who's converting, and also will give you back information as to how many people are taking you up on the lead magnet, and it helps to factor in your costs and all that stuff. So that's the first step, is to get the lead magnet conversion all situated. Each time you do an ad, you're going to have, and you have a different thank you page, you need to change this to the correct thank you page so that it all tracks correctly. The next thing that we're going to look at is the audience. So this is where you would use the different targeting things. Like I showed you in Audience Insights, that's one way of finding. The other way of finding good interest to use is by the suggestions that Facebook gives down here. So if I selected Gary Vaynerchuk, it's going to give me a really good mix of a lot of different people to target that are similar to Gary Vaynerchuk. This actually works probably better than Audience Insights, and so I'd recommend using this. You want to uncheck this expand, because you can see that that should come down further. So let's try another one, see if, yeah, this isn't working right. Anyway, the potential reach, what I recommend for that is staying above 100,000 people, and that way you're not paying too much money for the ads. Your CPM cost to show your ad will go up significantly with this if you have a smaller audience. So try and keep it above 100,000. How you can tell when that's the potential reach is working correctly is it will drop down, and then you just use these different interests. That's getting closer. Use these different interests, and then you can continue to play with it to see what the potential reach is. So the maximum, probably 1 million or 2 million is the most that I would use. Usually what I like to do if I have a larger budget is just to use one interest at a time, and then I copy the interest and I put it into the ad set name so that I can keep these straight. The next thing that you're going to look at is for connections. If you're wanting to target the friends of people who like a certain page, that would be a whole ad set in itself. You wouldn't use any targeting here. You would just go friends of people who like a page, and then you would type in your page name. So that's another strategy that you can use. Under placements, what I tend to recommend is turning off audience network, Instagram, and then only leaving on the feeds. So that's all that's left on. And then for your budget, I recommend starting off at $5 a day. And then for scaling, once you find an ad that works well, what you're going to want to do is increase the daily budget by 25% every 72 hours. But to start with, daily budget of $5 is good. Why do you use each section? I don't understand your question. Could you clarify your question? Oh, maybe. With the platforms, each one of these selections usually, narrow my audience. Okay. All right, narrowing your audience. So let's say for this example, we're going to use HubSpot. There it goes. Now it's working. As you can see, it's going to reach 440,000 people. Now, this would be large enough that I would use it for just one ad set. If I wanted to narrow this audience, let's say I want to narrow it by the income level. I want to reach people that are making over $75,000. That's one way you can narrow it. If you have other targeting criteria, such as they need to be a Facebook page admin or a small business owner, that's another way that you can narrow it. And as you see, the potential reach continues to decrease. So then at that point, you'd want to add another interest to get the audience size up farther. And that's how you would do it. The thing that I skipped over was location. You can put any location in, and you can also drop these pins here. Once you drop a pin, then you have the ability to go all the way down to 1 mile or up to 50 miles for people that are targeting locally. Otherwise, if you just type in a location like Fort Wayne, usually you just type in a regular location under ad locations, then the lowest you can go down to is 10 miles. But if you need to go tighter than a 10-mile radius, then you would go, you'd put your address in, and you can go all the way down to one mile. Also, dropping a pin also allows you to go down to 1 mile. And that's just for people that need to target locally. Otherwise, I just leave everything on United States. And that's it. All right. So most of the time, as I said, you're going to be using just the United States. You can look at the breakdown and maybe see if there's some cheaper states that you're getting conversions in, but for the most part, you're just going to keep it at United States if you're in the United States, or that's who your target market is. Going outside of the United States, the ones that I only recommend are United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, the UK, United States, and Canada are the ones that I would recommend. A lot of these other countries are not conditioned to opt in or purchase or anything like that. So even though they do speak English and have money, it's not worth advertising to. Also, I skipped over the age and gender. You want to put that in based on what you feel is your target market. And if it's just women ages 25 to 57, then you have that there. Also, anytime you're targeting outside of the United States, these income levels are not available. This is only available for the United States. There's a whole bunch of different demographic information that you can get, so you don't just have to target based off of interests. You could target based off of if they're a parent, what their relationship status is, their behaviors, lots of different things that you can target under these different behaviors and demographic categories here. So, all right. Once you've selected your correct target market through these detailed targeting, and you've correctly eliminated all these other placements that they never really do well, I'd say Instagram would be the only one that I'd use if I was running an e-commerce store. But otherwise, I just tend to always stick with the feeds. Daily budget's been covered. The conversion, to start off with, you're going to have two choices. You can go right away with 1 day click for conversions. If that doesn't work, what I would do is I'd switch this over to link clicks. And the reason for that is if you have a newer account, this Pixel doesn't quite understand what to do yet, and so you got to help it out. So that's one trick that I do. If things aren't working right away, I will make that switch there. Now you're on to the creative part, which is the last part, the ad. And you're going to want to select your page and then select the what it's going to be. You have a couple different options here. The single video, that's a regular video. The collection is a new feature. The single image or a carousel. So the carousel has multiple images that you can send people the different directions. Pretty much, I recommend just sticking with the image or video. So the next thing that you're going to do is select an image, and what you can do is upload an image. You can look at stock images. They have millions and millions and millions of stock images that you can use. You just need to type in the keywords here, and then you can go through and select up to 6 just by clicking on it, and that's that. Also, your image library, what you've used in the past, is also there. So for this, we're going to use these 3 images. All right, the next thing you're going to do is plug in your URL. And then plug in your headline. And then plug in your text. As you can see, the mobile view is over here to the right. Now, that's what you're going to want to optimize for most of the time, because that's where most of your traffic is going to come from. I like to experiment with including a call to action button or not including a call to action button. If I don't include a call to action button, then you can see the whole title appears for the example. If you do have a call to action button, then the title will disappear. It'll go to these ellipses. So the call to action button is great when you have a short title. When you don't have a short title, then it's a good idea to take that call to action button off so that everyone can see the full title when they see your ad. Moving down here, you can put a newsfeed link description, which would appear down here. However, on mobile, it's not going to appear. So I don't really worry too much about it. The display link has to be the same as the destination URL. And this is the display link right here. These are the URL parameters, and I don't get into that unless you're using UTM tracking on your ads. And then the offline tracking, you don't have to worry about that as well. And then you just want to make sure that you're tracking all conversions from the Facebook pixel that's green and highlighted. So once you're all done with that, then you're going to review the order and then place the order, and then Facebook's going to review it. Going over the pixel, all right, so how do you find your Facebook pixel? Going back to Ads Manager, again, you go down and drop down to Manage Ads. Come over here, hit the 3 bars, and then go to Pixels. Now the pixel is needed for all the tracking that Facebook does. So you're going to go to view pixel code, or if this is your first time, you're going to walk through the prompts to set up your Facebook pixel. Then you're going to copy this pixel and you're going to place it on the header, on your landing pages, as well as your website. Just ask whatever landing page you're using, or ask your web admin to install the Facebook pixel code. You just give it to them, and then you will be all set. Let's see. Any questions so far on anything that I've covered?
I'm going to check the Facebook group to see if anyone's asking any questions in there as well.
Okay.
Any questions on Zoom? I don't see any. Let me look on the Facebook. Someone, Sue asked, can you explain the purpose of conversion ads?
Yeah, conversion ads tell you when somebody downloads your lead magnet by indicating on the inside of Ads Manager. It's going to tell you right here the number of leads, and that's only available if you set up the conversion campaign. Otherwise, you'd have to go through and look at your customized columns, website, and then whatever custom conversion you have set up here. It would appear over to the right. It's just easier, as well as giving Facebook's pixel the opportunity to do its job in finding you the right people to show the ad to. That's the main purpose.
Zenny is asking, should you include text on the images?
Yes. So if you customize your text, if you customize your images through Canva or have a graphic designer, you can put text on the image and make it look really nice. You would put the title of your lead magnet, or your title of your lead magnet, and put on there the button to click here. That works really well for getting people's attention, and it's better than just using a stock photo. Any other questions?
I don't see any other questions in the Facebook group.
Okay. So just 4 things to know about Facebook ads. You need to test every variable. So you're testing different images, you're testing different headlines, you're testing different interests, all within these the different ad sets here. So in order to do your testing or split testing, what you would do is duplicate this ad set. This is the ad set we just created. You go into edit. And then if you're making changes to the interest, then you would make the changes here to try a different interest. For instance, if we wanted to target Amy Porterfield and these guys, And then we change the name of this to Gary V, Amy Porterfield. Save and continue. If you wanted to test different images at this screen, you would hit edit to each one of these images or each one of these ads, and you'd go in there, change the image, and then go through the process of changing the image. Or you'd go and change out the headline.
Phil, can you explain the concept of split testing for those that don't know what that is?
Yes, so split testing is the only way to find out your best combination of image, headline, copy, and interest. Basically, you set up all these ad sets, maybe 4 or 5 different ad sets at a time, each with different elements, and you let it run for 48 hours. Once it's ran for 48 hours, then you come back, you look at how many conversions every ad set has, and then you turn off the ad sets that are not getting, let's say if it's a lead magnet, less than $3 or $4 per conversion. And then you leave the ones running that are doing well, as well as scale the ones that are doing well. As I mentioned, the 25% increase to the ad budget every 72 hours. So the thing about split testing is that nobody knows until you test it which combination is going to work the best. And so that's why you have to split test.
Right, like with anything in the world, there is no magic pill, right? You have to do the work, you have to do the testing, and then, figure out what works for your niche, for your audience.
Correct.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing this. This was really, really helpful. I know that the ladies appreciate this. Can you just speak really quickly to like the power of Facebook ads and what's possible for like the common entrepreneur without millions of dollars to invest in advertising?
Yeah, so pretty low ad spend client. We only spent $500 on our last challenge. She brought in, I believe, 70 new people to her course, and that was a reoccurring payment of, I believe, $50 a month. And so that was we were running ads to a challenge, and at the end of the challenge, she presented the ladies with offer to join her membership course, and that's a really light ad spend. Another example is a client we were spent $10,000 using a webinar funnel and generated $40,000 within a couple weeks. But certainly you don't have to spend tens of thousands of dollars. You can get started just for $10, $5 a day.
So it really makes advertising tangible to the common person who is hustling, trying to grow their business from the ground up and doesn't have thousands and thousands or millions of dollars to beat the next competitor.
Right. Yeah. Realistically, you would want to have probably $1,000 set aside, because as you get started, it's not going to work right away. It's going to take $500 or more to really narrow in your targeting and your combinations. It's just because you're competing against everyone else and you have to experiment. So it's not, you can do limited stuff with just $5 or $10 a day, but really it's not until you have enough data to be able to see, oh yes, that worked good, or no, that didn't work great. And certainly it's not going to happen within a week, where all of a sudden you're profitable and doing extremely well. This is a process. I mean, it takes 30 to 90 days to really optimize and hone in on what's really working, and then be able to go profitable from there. So
that's awesome. And that's why I love my group program, because it's 6 months. We start the marketing funnel in month 3. Phil is our resident Facebook ads guru, and we give you the time and space to make it work for your business. Chandra is asking, how would you post an ad for an event? And I know she does local events for her business.
Local events are probably the toughest. If they're paid, they're so difficult to get traction on, unless you have a warm audience, and even then it's tough. One of my clients, they do a free cool sculpting local event where we just run an ad to back here in Ads Manager. You use engagement and then event responses, and then you go in through everything else. Once you get to the ad part, you're going to choose the event to promote. And so that's how you would advertise a local event. Of course, you're going to want to use your address under the ad set, so that it only is shown to people within 10-mile radius of your location. That seems to work the best. And then usually for the targeting, I try and leave it as open as possible, so that otherwise, I mean, you're just getting way too small, and it's going to cost so much more money.
Well, I know that she's a career coach, so she's probably going to be targeting the local universities to like do like a resume workshop or a workshop like that to help people find a career, help people, you know, progress in their career.
All right, so let's say we're right here, 10 miles, 1.1 million. I would leave it, I just go to the age and the gender, because like this, you just fewer than 1,000 people. You start adding these things and it's just going to be way too small. So probably the smallest for local I'd run would be 5,000. In order to get by that, you would just use the gender and age to target people, and you wouldn't worry about detailed targeting.
And how, like, so if like, for example, with a career coach, putting no targeting and just age and gender, what about like putting in like local university names? That wouldn't work either?
Yeah, it would work. Let's see. What's her city?
She's in East Chicago, Indiana.
I see something.
Not Chicago, Illinois, but it's Chicago, Indiana.
Yeah, it's not gonna play nice today. Yeah, it's not coming up. So I can't do an example, but yeah, I would start there with the targeting, and then if it's too small, then I'd go out from there.
Okay. Okay, great. Well, Phil, this was awesome. Anything else you want to add? I don't see any other questions here.
My final thought is if you have a poor performing offer, meaning either it's not tested with organic traffic, which is non-paid traffic, or you did send it out to your email list or put it on Facebook and it did horrible, no amount of paid traffic will produce positive results. So through using Facebook ads, and if it's doing poorly, it could just be that the offer is a poor offer. That's why it's best to use something that you know converts well first organically, and then start putting money behind it to drive traffic to that landing page or whatever, to the offer. Because then you know, then you eliminate the idea that, or the possibility that it's a bad offer, and you can just focus on the targeting and images and stuff, knowing that it's a good converting offer. And so that's really helpful.
Awesome. Yeah, that's why I really focus so hard on building out the foundations of your business really well in the first and second month of the business, because of my group program, because everything in your business will then build upon it. So knowing your brand message, knowing, you know, what you're offering, knowing what your people really, really want, and then creating, you know, your Facebook ads, webinar funnel, as well as your lead magnets around that. Because when that is magnetizing, when the language is on point, when, you know, you really are offering something to solve a real problem in the marketplace, the ads will work. So that's why I stress that so much in everything that I do. And that's why we spend the time in the group program to do that. So Phil, thank you so much. I'm so happy you're in my life. I love that you're a believer also, and you love Jesus, and you're an honest guy, and you've done amazing with my own ads. We're having, you know, 5-figure launches as well, hopefully 6-figure launches soon. And Phil and his wife are just a pleasure to work with, and I'm so happy that he's going to, you know, be in the group as well to help. And I don't know if he's taken on any clients, but you guys can reach out to him if you guys just don't want to do it yourselves and you want to hire Phil and his team, because they're awesome. So yeah, that's a wrap.
Cool.
Any questions, come into the Facebook group and post in the video, and then Phil or I would answer it today, you know. So yeah, thank you so much, Phil.
Yeah, you're certainly welcome.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.